Hello. Nope, we're not able to hear you, Terry.
How are you?
Pretty good. How have you been?
Same old, same old. Just staying busy.
Oh, yeah. I think everyone else, the other officers should be signing on in a second. Rebecca was having some troubles getting it to work, but, or not Rebecca, sorry. Jennifer was, but.
Gotcha. Hey, Michael. You still in Michigan?
I am right now, yeah.
Okay.
I'm coming home I'm making a trip to Wisconsin this weekend, and then I'll be up for a while.
Cool.
Yeah, getting ready for the fair up here. They allowed quail, so I'm super thrilled
Oh,
with
nice.
that. And yeah, I'm hoping to bring like 20.
Are you getting close to wanting to do a live stream to talk about the club here? Or?
Yeah, so it's in the works, but it's getting there.
All right,
I
well,
won't
let me
reveal
know
anything
whenever
else.
you're ready. Whenever you're ready, we'll set up a stream.
Okay. I think I'll let Michael say however much he wants to say on that. So start a little bit.
I think as soon as we have memberships open, we should definitely do it. I think that would be good timing.
Sure.
Which is going to be at least, well, we can't even file the last of the paperwork until we hear back on the current paperwork. So probably another few weeks.
I can share really quickly the meeting agenda, just so that's up there for people to look at. Okay, you guys able to see it okay?
Nope, it's black screen.
That's fun. It's on a different monitor. How about now? Okay, well, we'll axe that idea, but.
Is it posted somewhere?
In mine. Yeah, it's posted in, oh, it might not be. Like the general outline was posted in the Facebook group. I don't know if the actual one was. Got a minute or so yet. I know. What else? Kristen wasn't able to make it. There's a few other people that had talked to me and said they couldn't make it, but they wanted to. Yeah, I don't know. Has anyone heard from Anita lately? I haven't talked to her since the last meeting, but I don't know if she was planning on coming to this one or not.
Yeah, I talked to her maybe a week ago. She didn't say anything about the meeting or anything, so I don't know what's going on. I know she's back to work, so could be she's at work.
Okay, I guess we'll call the meeting to order. We'll start with old business. So secretary's report. Jennifer, you want to go over minutes from the last meeting, preview of this meeting, and any other business?
Last meeting, we waiting on the state to do the bank account. We approved the junior memberships, and I was supposed to set up a YouTube channel, which I did.
Yeah. And then I'll send this recording to you too of this meeting. We can get it up on the YouTube channel.
Okay.
Any other secretary business?
No.
Treasurer's report. So that's tax status paperwork, bank account update, and any other business.
All right, I'll see if I can get through mine as quick as you did. We're still waiting on the state. So we did receive word back from them on the initial filing that everything looked good, and now they're processing it. So as soon as we have that officially back from them, then we can move forward and apply for a bank account.
Yeah, awesome. Any other treasurer business?
No, we're just sort of in a holding pattern. As soon as we have the bank account, we can move everything forward, start collecting dues, and start moving. So I think hopefully we have more exciting news next month. It looks like it will at least be on to the next step by shortly before next month's meeting. Hopefully that doesn't mean we're waiting to hear back from the bank. Hopefully they can move faster than the state, but we'll see.
Awesome. Yeah, paperwork takes time. Vice President update. I've got membership on the website and any other business.
Pretty much I'm in a holding pattern waiting on Mr. Treasurer over there. So once we get all the paperwork and stuff done, then we can start accepting members. So for right now, that part of the website is on hold.
Yep. And that seems to be kind of across the board, but it's good that we have all of these things established ahead of time. So we've already got the website up. We've already got meetings going. We've got our officers elected and established, and like all of that in place before we get to our bank account. So it'll be all ready to hit the ground running.
Yeah, all that stuff just takes so much time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm applying for my EMS license reciprocity right now, and it's been the same way, waiting for months to get oh, you need to sign this again, and yeah, it's fun. The next thing I had up was the code of ethics. I'll pull that up really quick. I don't think Megan is on here, but she was the one that had wrote the code of ethics. And they based it off of the Mice Breeders Association one that was posted. So a lot of similar wording, obviously geared towards Coturnix quail. Let me see. I really hope this is gonna work this time. ACBA, that's the standard. Don't want to do that one. But so the thing with the code of ethics, here we go. Let me know if you guys are able to see it. It says it's loading. All right. Okay. It says I am screen sharing. Are you guys able to see it on your end?
I see it there, but I can't read it. It's too small.
Okay, I can definitely zoom in. And so this was what was drafted. And I think what we had talked about, it was proposed to the officers beforehand, so we've all had a chance to look at it. And what was proposed is that basically by becoming a member, you would agree to the code of ethics. And it just kind of is an honesty agreement saying that you will abide by it. We didn't have anything in place to enforce it as of yet, whether that's something we want to consider or not. But just general, I'll read through them. As a member of the American Coturnix Breeders Association, I agree to uphold this code of ethics. General ethics to abide by the bylaws of the ACBA, to maintain records of breeding stock, to be honest in advertising, and to not intentionally mislead, defraud, or misrepresent yourself, your animals, or the ACBA. Breeding ethics to breed my animals to advance and improve upon the ACBA standard of perfection, to breed animals that are in good health and free of infectious disease or hereditary defects, to discontinue breeding animals that produce offspring who have a defect or disorder which is detrimental to the animal's well-being. Then welfare ethics to provide my animals food, water, proper handling, healthcare, and environment with thoughtful consideration for their species, typical biology, and behavior. To care for my animals in a way that minimizes fear, pain, stress, and suffering, to treat my animals with respect and dignity throughout their lives, and to dispatch humanely. Does anyone have any comments, any suggestions, or general thoughts on any of the different ethics or points in there. Wording, it could be wording, it could be as far as like the general concept. Yeah. I'll kind of leave the floor open for discussion.
The only thing that I see that could be difficult and raise questions would be to maintain the records of the breeding stock. I mean, how much detail are you having in mind?
Absolutely. And that kind of depends on the person, I guess. What you're keeping track of is kind of, that's individualized. So I think as far as like overall animal numbers might be, we could definitely be more specific if we wanted to, or we could keep it vague, or we can take it out altogether. I agree, that's kind of an open-ended thing that's not super.
I'd almost be for taking it out. And
Okay,
there's no way for the sheer numbers that we're talking about. Like I keep very detailed records for my chickens, but there would be no way for me to do that on the sheer number of quail.
yeah,
I mean,
and like you could almost keep record, like I'm thinking of terms of almost like NPIP records, kind of where just how many birds you have at one point, or but yeah, that's how specific you want to be for records is kind of, yeah. I mean, I keep track of every bird, but I also have a small enough operation that I can do that. If I had 1,000 birds, there's no way I could tell you the name and number of every single bird on a daily basis. So,
Michael, what do you think?
Honestly, I don't remember going through this, so I apologize if you sent it and I didn't read through. But some of these don't seem like ethical concerns, such as the keeping records. It would be a concern if you then try to misrepresent it. So that could almost be lumped in with point 3. And I might need to think about some of these other points before I speak publicly to them. But a couple of the others also don't seem like maybe they belong in a code of ethics. Maybe it's something you should do in general, like not breeding animals with defects. It would depend on if that's a major defect or not. Maybe you have a reason for breeding something with a unique new mutation that has potential value and has a minor defect that you can breed out the next generation. So there could be reasons for breeding animals with defects. Same thing with the ACBA standard of perfection. If someone disagrees with that standard and wants to breed for a purpose that we don't have listed in our SOP, that could be perfectly ethical. There could be reasons for that. So I kind of want to look at each of these a little bit closer and maybe give some more feedback, and we can discuss it again later.
yeah, and I think it was in like they made I think Megan made a group chat with all of us and put it in there. That was, I want to say like 2 to 3 weeks ago. So
Yeah, I haven't seen it before tonight either, so.
okay, yeah, we can definitely shelve it and kind of talk about it as officers and come up with some public comments. I agree on some of them, like breeding towards improving the ACBA standard. Just thinking about the APA standard of perfection, there's constantly people trying to work on new varieties, new breeds. Rebecca's working on a breed that they want to, so they aren't necessarily working on the standard of perfection, but they're still breeding animals, and they're still breeding animals with the purpose of, you know, improving and bettering their stock. And I think that's like totally acceptable, both within the APA, and it should be something we condone as part of the ACBA. And that's just kind of my personal opinion. But yeah, we can kind of shelve it. I'll leave it up, and we can post it in, do you guys want to post it in the Facebook group for public comment too, just to get people's thoughts and opinions, or kind of wait on that? I think if it's something we bring up next meeting too, we can post it and see what other people have to say.
Why don't we do that? Why don't we revise it and then post it for public comment, and then we can make further revisions.
Okay. absolutely. Going back to meeting minutes. I don't know if are you seeing meeting agenda now?
Yes.
I will load that up a little bit. We're on to the standard of perfection update. So this last month, I've been working on fleshing out a lot of, I suppose I think I can pull it up. Fleshing out a lot of the descriptions in general. So this is kind of the draft we've been working on. And just the technical terms is kind of what I've been working on. You know, everything that we describe in there, we want to have a solid definition so that no one is confused about exactly what we're talking about. So that's what I've been going through, and adding more into there. The structure needs a little bit more yet. Most of it is taken from Pips and Chicks and just kind of reworded. So the defaults and disqualifications I've also been going through, and in general, I've been kind of going off of the APA. So there's a lot of similarities between the chicken world and the quail world. So what they consider a default versus a disqualification. And we can obviously go through that as officers and decide, okay, this should definitely be a disqualification. They were a little bit more strict with their disqualifications, and usually anything that was genetic or could be genetic was considered a disqualification. Even if, like, in the quail world, that might still be something you would have. They consider, and then obviously like your sickness and things like that. The other thing would be just a general history in there. It's just what I've been able to pull from different articles. It's kind of where I'm at so far. Once we finish filling this out as officers, I want to take it again, have everyone in the officer team look over it, review it, and then bring it to some of the breeders and geneticists worldwide. So like Tamara Roswell, Kadia Gali, in Australia, Martin Yardley is a great one. Different judges for the Australian show, and have them look over it, see if there's any wording, any little things that they want to change that they think might not line up with what we're looking for. And then before we publish it and post it on the website and then make it official. The other thing that I've been looking at is different diagrams. So if you have like the APA standard of perfection, there's a ton of different diagrams in there. Things like the ideal structure, things of different defaults, defects, what it looks like, just different drawings of it. And they usually use drawings because photos you can never have a perfect bird, and a drawing can be perfect. So there's a couple of ones in here that are public domain that we can definitely put in there, just as like general overall poultry structure, anatomy, bone structure. And then, yeah. Eventually, if we want to look into getting someone to draw pictures, I have a couple different contacts from the APA world, and like biology, art majors, but that's something that's probably going to be close to a year out, would be my guess. Yeah, any general thoughts, questions, comments, concerns on standards so far?
Great work so far.
Thank you. Yeah, long car rides gave me something to do. On to new business. So we've got the newsletter. I don't know. I think we agreed to shelve that last month for this month to see if we wanted to put a newsletter committee together, or someone that wants to write a newsletter we can send out either in the Facebook group and an email, just kind of a recap and just some fun pictures or things like that. I don't think there's enough people here to really, unless one of the officers wants to take on writing a newsletter for this month, we can definitely put it off till next week when we've got more members. So
Yeah, I'm
My
wondering if maybe we
opinion-
should launch it when we start taking members. And that can be a way of, like, hey, plus not only that, but if the newsletter is part of membership, we would have to have those emails through the membership in order to send it out. So,
Right.
but I guess, starting to procure some people to start writing stuff wouldn't be a bad idea, though.
Okay. I think, let me check the Facebook because I know a couple of people had commented on it last time as far as newsletters, maybe.
Wouldn't the
Maybe
Facebook
not.
group kind of be the new age way of doing a newsletter?
Yeah, but just having a solid recap. Here's an outline. Here's some fun, pretty pictures. Especially for the older people or even me, I get EMT newsletters every week from the state EMS, and it's always a really good way to catch things that I might have missed. Facebook algorithms are screwy, so not everyone sees it. And it kind of keeps people of, oh yeah, there's still things going on. I don't know. Yeah, we can definitely put that off until we've got membership then. Moving on to articles for the website. So definitely something we should figure out this month, if not next month, before we go live with members and make the official members only section open to members. When we can accept them, we should figure out a vetting of authors and what our process is gonna be for that, as far as submission, as far as how do we make sure this information is accurate and we've got like qualified people writing articles. Yeah, I'll leave it open to kind of discussion as well as some different subjects and silence.
Crickets.
I think we could probably do it initially, but I would love for that to be something that if someone wants to volunteer to be part of a group that vets articles, if there's people sending us stuff that they want us to post or put on the website, we just need to be careful what we endorse to make sure that it's scientific. If it's a genetics article, or if it's something not scientific, that it's at least good information from a breeding standpoint. So I guess that defaults to the four of us for now,
Okay.
the four officers. But if we can eventually put a committee together, that maybe that's the only thing that they want to do. There's someone super knowledgeable in the industry who can just check things for errors. Even if we're posting scientific journals, there's some bad articles out there. So having someone that can look and say this actually isn't helpful, but these ones are, that would be a good thing to have.
Right, and making sure it's up to date. A lot of them, like, I know there's a lot of really good science articles out there from 2004. That's almost 20 years old. Now, we've made a lot of advancements in genetics since then, and just what we know. A lot of it still stands, but yeah, keeping up to date with that. So I guess for right now, we can have it. I can get a Google form put together so they can just submit a copy with their name, their email, and then a link to the document for us to view. That way they don't have to worry about knowing one of us or messaging one of us or anything like that. And we can have it open to anyone to submit articles, and we can go through and review it. I don't know. Another thing is, would we have to consider telling I don't want it to become a thing of, I don't want to critique you and hurt your feelings when something that's still not accurate gets put out there. Yeah, I don't know how to do that without, but for now we can just kind of keep it as the officers and hopefully expand that to a committee or other people that are comfortable with it. I did reach out to Tamara and Katia, and they were a little unsure about what to write about. They're like, well, we already have a lot of articles out there, so I said, yeah, if it's something you want to do and you've got time for, go ahead. We're just kind of open to anything for right now. And if you don't, then, you know, it is what it is. But I figured they'd both be very good writers. They both have a lot of genetics knowledge. So, and they pretty well versed in keeping up to date on top of stuff. So, the other thing is subjects. Is there any particular subjects we're looking for? We don't want, we want to stay away from?
Not that I can think of. I do have an idea of, you know, if we do have a committee that is, you know, looking over these and vetting them, maybe having a way of if somebody, you know, if the committee says, hey, you know, this isn't going to work, this isn't scientific, or this, you know, whatever, for whatever reason, maybe having a way of appealing that decision to somebody, to, you know, to another group or something, just for the fact that it would help avoid anybody saying, oh, this is just favoritism, or you don't like me because I'm, you know, like this person or whatever, just to help assuage that kind of issue, perhaps.
Yeah, and that's the kind of thing that's hard. I don't know if we could make it anonymous when you submit it, just for the sole fact that we need someone to contact to say, hey, you know, we like it, you just need to tweak a little wording things or fix a couple grammar structure issues. Like, we need someone to contact on that. So I don't know if we could make it anonymous to submit, but having a way, yeah, to kind of have a good review process. So you can't just make it, you know, I don't like this person. They don't go through.
Well, if we do, each article has to have, say, 5 citings at the end. We cite this scientific journal or this study, or 3 of them. It doesn't matter, but just something to back them up beside the chicken chick or something like that. You know, somebody, a marketer.
Just so you're saying more like having sources in there and
Yes.
links too. Yeah. And you still have to be careful of, you know, what you're citing and stuff, but that adds more credibility to it too.
Yes.
And
Why don't we just cross the bridge if it becomes a problem? So what
Yeah.
we have in charge of vetting the stuff, if it's scientific, then it probably needs some sources. And then if it's just an article about how I like to package my eggs to sell them at the local farmer's market, then we can just use kind of a common sense, oh yeah, this looks like it might be helpful for people that are members. And so then you let that through. And then if people start to complain about favoritism, we can put something in place where whatever group is checking it, maybe they appeal it to the elected officers, and everyone has a chance to elect new officers every couple of years. So that's one way to check it. I don't know how we would talk another group into being part of that process, but I guess that could be the final step, is someone, an unbiased third party, could do it, but hopefully we won't need this anytime soon.
Yeah. And I don't think we will. I don't think it's something we're having in the near future, but I can see people bringing it up just to have a bone to pick with other people. But the same thing, something we may want to consider, and it doesn't have to be something we bring up at this meeting, or something it can be something we talk about as officers. A point of contention right now in the APA is the petition system. So possibly putting something in place where if there's an error, if someone has an issue, how they can officially bring it to. I don't think we're at the point right now where it's a big issue, because they'll just message one of us or they'll reach out in the Facebook group chat. But considering in the future what we can do, the APA has an official petition where you submit it, you have to have signatures from, I want to say it's like 5 or 10 people on it. And they do, like, you have to pay to submit it, but I don't think we need to get to that point, but just an official way to submit concerns. Yeah, I don't know, Jennifer, how well you know the whole Brahma scandal going on right now, but that's a big thing that they've been utilizing and how we can, if we have a complaint, how we can make our voice heard. And I don't think it's a problem right now, but maybe something to consider in the future.
There's always drama in the APA.
Yeah, when you get to that big of a group, you get the drama. And there's drama in every group, but
And
yeah.
you're dealing with crazy chicken people, so it's it worse.
Oh yeah.
But I agree with you. I think thinking along those lines so that we're prepared if there is a problem is great. And it, it just shows people that we care and that we want to address issues if they were to arise, and we're not going to just, brush them off or whatever. So I think that's a good thing to do.
Absolutely. I can put a form together. I like Google Forms. You can tell. But I can put a form together both for the like submitting an article and also like submitting a topic for meetings, just to have that on there if people don't want to straight up come and say it to the whole Facebook group or whatever, because some people are like that. And we can add one onto there for complaints or issues. Yeah.
We can put all those things on the website too, those links to those forms.
Absolutely. The next topic I have is the point system for exhibitors. I'm pretty sure most of you guys know about it. I don't know, Amy, if you've heard, but the Pips and Chicks virtual show was really great. We had like 180 plus quail entered, which was awesome. I was not expecting that many. In like the APA world, that would be considered a qualifying meet. That would be well over what they'd need to have for a qualifying meet. And so, yeah, tons of birds, which is really, really nice to see. Something to consider if we keep going with shows, whether it be virtual or in person, is a point system. And it's voluntary and it's optional. The APA does it, the ABA does it. Most breeder groups do. I know the Americana one is pretty big in there, but you get points based on wins. So like you get so many points if you win class champion, you get so many points for best of variety, so many points for champion overall. And then they put stipulations on it. So you have to have so many birds in the show to get points for it. And it usually has to be like an official approved show with sanctioned judges and standard and like by the standard and whatnot. But that's kind of a fun way. They usually have like, if you hit like 1,000 points, which is pretty hard to do. If you win champion of a show, you get about 25 points. And like class champion, I want to say is like 10 points. That's off the top of my head. So it's a lot to get to 1,000. But you get like master exhibitor status of your breed, which is, and they usually send like a plaque or whatnot. But it's pretty cool way to kind of show what you've accomplished and showcase. So they also usually publish a list of points and the exhibitors, so people can see, yeah, oh, this person's a breeder, they've been doing it for a while, they've got points at shows, they've won shows, they've done well. And again, it's optional, but that's something to consider if we want to keep pushing shows, keep going forward with that. I don't think we're there yet with members. We definitely need to get membership up and open, but just keep in the back of your mind. Yeah. And then the last thing I have is hatching time information. Jennifer, you want to go with that one?
We're still, we're waiting. They said that they would put the brochures, flyers, information out on tables, give to the ambassadors to give out. Just if we would send that stuff to them, then they would make sure it got handed out, and help us out in that way. So I think that would probably be another thing, that once we have memberships open, then we can create those brochures and flyers and get the information out to everybody.
Absolutely. I know there was some talk in the Facebook group about different shows. I'm going to a couple big shows this upcoming fall. So like Ohio Nationals is a really, really big one. It's the 150th year, so it'll be even bigger than normal. The mega show in Oklahoma, I'll be going down there. And that one's usually averages like 3,000 birds or so, from all around the country. And they've said that Oklahoma show has said they'd be more than happy to consider having quail, maybe not this year, but in upcoming years. And a couple like Portage International would be another really big one that there's a couple members going to, myself included. But getting into those shows, whether it be seeing if we can just have a display of quail there, not necessarily judging, but just to get, you know, people seeing, hey, we're getting a standard, we're getting this organization together and people interested. So a lot of those people have been breeding poultry for some time, and they know what they're doing, and they'd be a great community to try and get into the ACBA as well. So again, that's a little ways out. Most of those shows are later fall, so we're talking like September. Well, not more of October, November than anything else. But if we get memberships up by then, but
My show season starts here in, well, a month from today, the September 2nd. So I'll be hitting every show within 3 hours of here. So I can take stuff to all of those shows.
awesome. Yeah. And there's some fairs that are starting to have it. So Houghton is, I'm super excited. They actually opened up all entries to anyone in the UP pretty much. And it's free for youth. So they waived all of the youth like show fees, which is awesome. And they'll like test your birds for you on site, which is also for free, which is great. So otherwise palorum testing can get pretty expensive pretty quick. But like, yeah, expanding into fairs too is another thing to consider. That's usually a little bit less formal than the APA. They're usually a little bit more open to having in different species and things like that. But yeah, there's right now, I guess it's kind of up and just for membership. We're waiting on that. We've got a good groundwork in place for things that come after. So.
Well, maybe since you brought up something here, maybe since it's the beginning of the school year, now would be a good time to kind of reach out to the local 4-Hers groups near each of us and figure out what they need in order to branch out faster nationally.
Absolutely. And like, I know our program, what we do in Wisconsin and that I'm bringing to the Michigan side of things, because there's not a whole lot of birds up here. I hate to say it, but they do hatchings. So at least in Wisconsin, what they would do, and this was just our local 4-H group, the superintendent has an incubator. She hatched tons of birds out, and she'd send a request to different breeders in the area if any of them were willing to contribute eggs, and hatch them out and sold them to any interested 4-H member for like a huge discount. So birds that are usually like $10 to $15 a chick, they were selling for like $3 to $4. Some of them they just gave away to exhibitors they know would continue with the breed and stuff like that. So that's a huge way that they increased show numbers and got people interested in shows, was saying like, here's kind of what you need to get started if you're interested in it. So that could be something. I don't know if it's something the ACBA could necessarily put together, because it's definitely more of a local thing than it is a big national chain, but it's something we could definitely say, like, here's things that we're doing, and here's a outline for different things that for people that might want to do it. Just something to consider.
I want to say the 4-H is run per state.
Mm-hmm.
I actually used to work for them, but golly, that was, I'm going to name my age here, almost 30 years ago. So I can't really remember exactly the hierarchy there. But I was the one that actually went into the elementary schools and got everybody set up, but I don't remember how the hierarchy worked.
Yeah. So from my experience, like all your county fairs are obviously county. So that's when you go to like a fair, it's usually county fair, and your best bet is to reach out to the superintendent. Any county fair can set it up separately regardless. So some fairs will make it so you have to be in 4-H or FFA or an organization. That's the way the my Outagamie fair was. And then some fairs it's open to all youth. So that's the way the Houghton Fair is up here. You don't have to be part of any organization. And then like as far as 4-H goes, some 4-H clubs are more involved with different things than others. Your best bet would be a county superintendent for poultry. At least again, that's in my experience, which is again 2 states, but it is separated mainly by state. So most like some state universities will run it. So in Michigan, it's run by Michigan State. In Wisconsin, it's run by UW-Madison. So they kind of can blast things out to a whole statewide level. It's just not as it's a little bit more separated. I think they mostly deal with like the administration kind of stuff from what my experience was, rather than the actual day-to-day of this is what this fair is doing, this is what this club is doing.
So I live in a pretty rural county now, and 4-H is big here. They show the dairy cow, really rural. So I'll reach out to my local 4-H. He's like 4 miles from me. So I will reach out to him and kind of see if I can pick his brain and see how that works down here.
Yeah, absolutely. Any other? Yeah, that was kind of everything on the agenda. So we just kind of have open discussion for the last however many minutes. Anyone have any other topics they want to cover? Anything they want to talk about? Concerns, comments?
Short of the banking information, why can't you start taking membership now?
Well, we need a bank to be able to hook the membership, like when they go to join and they supply their banking info. We have to have a bank that takes that money, so that so if it's hooked up to, let's say, PayPal, that money has to go somewhere. So it has to go into like a bank account for us to accept it through the website.
What gateway are you using? Stripe or?
Yeah, with Squarespace, it would be Stripe.
Well, through Stripe, you can link a bank account to it and then change it once you get the bank account, the official bank account. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
You can put Michael's information in there, let Michael take care of all the money until you get the legal bank account. That way, I don't know, are you ready to take members though, as far as the website goes and all that, or?
I think everything's put in place except for just, the bank part of it.
Yeah, I mean, I would, if it was me, I would start taking members now and deposit into somebody's personal account until you got the real banking information done. And then you can always change it through Stripe.
I don't know why I didn't think about that. So I can just set up a new personal account, so there's no mixing of funds, and have it throw it in there.
You might as well start getting members in and getting some money in the bank, and maybe that'll kind of make stuff move along a little bit quicker.
You guys want to do that?
Really quick, does PayPal actually require a bank account?
Yeah, you have to link a bank to it. The only problem with PayPal is they take a percentage, like 3%.
I'm
So
aware
you
of
would
that.
be better off.
I don't
Well,
know if
yeah,
you need to
what
link
is
a
Stripe
bank
for?
account for PayPal.
Stripe takes about 3%.
Oh, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, you could go PayPal or
Well,
as long as Rebecca could incorporate it into the payment gateway on the website.
That's the
Then-
big thing.
yeah, for Squarespace, if we're going to have it set up as a subscription where it automatically draws each year, they only allow you to do that with Stripe.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I know I had Stripe before, and I know you can change banking information. Once you got it set up, you can always switch it to a different account.
I guess the only thing that I'd be concerned about would be like tax things. I don't know if Michael were to set up his own account and start taking money, I'm totally fine with that, but I would hate for him to get dinged with taxes somehow on that. No? Okay.
It wouldn't. No.
Okay.
Especially if he could show that he transferred that money over into the club's official bank account.
Okay.
Tax anyhow. I just didn't know why you guys weren't accepting membership. Yeah, if it's just a banking issue, I would take the money now and get some members in there.
Michael, are we within a month of doing this with the state?
The estimated date I have right now is September 4th. And then however long it takes to set up the bank account. So
I say if we
probably
can
within 2 months, but if you guys want to get it rolling right now, that would save us a month or two.
Yeah, that'd be great, especially with upcoming fall shows and things like that. That would be being able to.
Yeah, I'm all for it. This is why we need high IQ people like Terry on these calls.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. I don't know how long, what time I don't think when I set up an account like a personal subset for like pips and chicks, I don't think it took me more than like a day or two, but I don't know what the timeline is for your schedule and whatnot. But yeah, we can do that and get members rolling. That'd be great.
Rebecca, do you already have the form and everything on the website? You just have to.
Yeah, there's certain things that I can't make until I have like the subscription part set up.
Sure.
So once I get that, then it'll allow me to create the page that I need for like the members area and stuff like that. But yeah, the rest is ready to go. It's pretty fast.
I think that'd be a good idea. You might as well start getting some money in now and some members and.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we can look at, I know Jennifer had mentioned like different things like t-shirts and things like that.
Mhm.
It's nice. Yeah, because does Squarespace has like a drop shipping thing on it too, doesn't it?
You can use it to link to a drop ship company like Printful or something like that. I don't think they have their own, but you can easily link to one. So
yeah, that's definitely something to look into. I'd love an ACBA shirt.
yeah, I've already got a company. I don't know, Jennifer, are you using a drop shipping company?
No, that requires extra time to set up.
So I've already got one. I can easily set something up, and now that we have the logo, that's not a problem. So again, we may want to wait on that one because it's going to be another bank account thing. Yeah. So maybe we'll just keep it simple. We'll start taking our memberships, and then after that start doing the shirts and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, we're all
back to the bank account thing. Just devil's advocate here. We need full transparency so nothing comes back on Michael. And then what if you did it something like Michael DBA ACBA, something along those lines? I mean, you can set up an online bank account in about 4 minutes anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But you were talking earlier about petitions for issues arising. The business side of me sees a lot of red flags here when we're only talking about a month.
We definitely, I think the level of transparency, since we're only talking about 1 to 2 months, would literally be how many members are there? And if that list is public, we'll know exactly how much money came in and went right into the ACBA bank account.
I'm not opposed to it. By no stretch am I saying I don't trust you. I'm just playing devil's advocate here on the transparency issue to stave off any issues.
I definitely see where you're coming from. Definitely see where that can be. Last thing we want is to bring up like, it's just a money grab or something. And I trust you wholeheartedly, Michael, but I
And
think,
from a
yeah.
public point of view, since this is a public meeting, that's I don't, that could be perceived in many ways and twisted.
Mhm.
Is there
I
any
know.
reason we don't want the membership list public?
I'm simply talking about the bank account, not the.
Yeah, well, I'm tying that to how much money would be coming in. Would just
Well,
be
that would
the number of
be a
members.
matter of at the beginning of each meeting with putting that into your treasurer's report. This is how many
Mhm.
members we had sign up. This is the number in, this is what's in, we don't have it in the bank account now, or we do have it in our bank account, and the personal one doesn't need to be touched anymore. And just, that's, yeah.
Yeah, and if anybody ever questions it, Squarespace is going to be keeping track of all that too. So I can easily pull it up and go, oh, we had this many members join, this many were juniors, this many were, the gold standard, whatever. And we can provide that information. And then with bank statements on Michael's end, we can, easily compare, show people, look, everything's kosher, all matches up. So I definitely agree with you, Jennifer. That is something that we need to be fully aware of and ready to answer questions if anybody has them. So
Makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone have any other concerns or things we can address or bring up with that? Okay, let's go ahead with that then, and then, yeah, we can bring it up. But if we can get memberships rolling before the next meeting, we can go ahead and blast that on Facebook, social media, and we can sit down with Terry and do a Katernik's Corner live sometime, and start to get that rolling. Yeah, any other topics, discussions, things we wanna?
I guess if we do start taking memberships, we'll want to go ahead and start our secondary Facebook group for members only. So just throwing that out there.
Yeah. And then do we want to open up that secondary group to more than just meeting information? Do we want to have that be kind of a like a Facebook group where you can ask, what's up with this bird or things like that? Or do we want to keep it just towards meetings or more ACBA oriented stuff?
I'm okay with it either way, as long as it doesn't turn into every 10 minutes. Is this a hen or a roo? So,
Yeah, I
Maybe
think
that's-
in my show groups, like I think there's a show exhibition coaching group or
Yep,
something.
I'm in that one.
You post, pictures of your birds if you have the guts to do it and say, what do y'all think about this one? And so I think because it'll be members only, those will be different people than the hen or
Mhm. Maybe that's something we consider doing, is having a day. I know the American Ohiki Association does the Tail Tuesdays, where they post pictures of their birds' tails because it's a big part of Ohiki. Maybe that's a day where we have, we can have, say, identify your bird and have people go through and commenters and post comment pictures of their bird, and we can have the people in the group ID it. Something to consider. That would definitely be a huge incentive. I know a lot of people are kind of swimming sometimes when it comes to genetics. So
I have a question going back to the second group management. Was it always the intention to have a members only group and a open group? Or if we just want one group, is it simpler to just say, everyone, you've got 3 months to register, and then we're going to reconcile the lists and boot everyone who's not a paying member? Because then we would just have one group to manage.
that'd probably be a lot easier if we're okay doing it that way. I can change, it's 2 steps to change the questions in there to ask for a member number, and yeah, that would make it a lot easier than having to worry about having a second group on top of the group we have now.
You want to do 3 months?
Sounds good. Or just I was gonna say 3 months will be, do you just want to say by January 1st? That's about 4 months, but
well, how about we,
sooner.
do you want to, I guess, make that post after we have everything set start taking members.
Yeah. We
And
can,
we should, yeah, probably talk about the pros and cons of that timeline, because if we say beginning of the year, a lot of people are gonna say, okay, cool, I'm in it for free for 6 months or 5 months or whatever it is.
yeah, that's true.
And I don't necessarily have a
How
problem with
special
that,
we are.
but
It's a free trial.
See how organized and special we are. Well, I mean, and it does make sense, January is the beginning of our busy season. So people will be super excited, at that point. That would be a good, I don't know if January 1st would be a good cutoff day as much as January 31st would be a better cutoff day.
That's a long time.
It is a long time, but well, we all know that, that's when everybody's
Holidays,
all
yeah.
excited and wanting to order quail eggs.
We want to,
So-
we could bring it back into the end of November then, if we wanted to. Then we're not right in the middle of Christmas and everything.
Well, I mean, Rebecca, how long is it gonna take us to get the memberships up and going?
Pretty much maybe the same day that Michael sets up his bank account. Once I get that information, plug it into Stripe and we can start going.
And just
Michael, you got a timeline for that? And that's no pressure. Like if it takes a week or so.
I can take care of it today. So
Okay.
that wouldn't take long. I think it's more of a, when do we want to start charging for memberships? When are we going to have enough material on there for that to be justified? And when's the smartest time to move forward with it? So
I think we
would
can
say right
start
away,
charging.
but-
Yeah. I think we can start charging right away and then just put the deadline on the Facebook group of this is when you're for sure going to be booted out if you don't. I feel like most of the people that are interested in the group and that want to be an active participating member are going to be signed up within the matter of a week or two. Like I don't think it's going to be something where a majority of members aren't. I think it's just giving a solid timeline for people on the Facebook group to be like, hey,
And I see 30 days. I don't see any reason to push it out.
Okay.
I think 30 days is fair.
Are you
Sounds
talking
good.
about one Facebook group versus a
Yes.
second?
Mhm.
The only thing I see with that, I would have two groups, the members group, and then because the groups are simple to set up, and the free group, just use that as an advertising basis or an advertising site for the group. And then have the other group private, because who's gonna go through every month and kick people out?
It wouldn't necessarily be kicking people out, it'd just be adding new people in, and that'd be fairly easy. Rebecca's got a thing that you get a number when you'll be a membership, so they can just put in their membership number or ID or whatever into the group question, and that's pretty much their way in. The only thing with having a separate group and having two of them is then you have twice the group that you have to moderate. And I feel like there's enough other open quail groups that like we can get the word out if we want to.
Right.
Yeah,
About-
and the only reason why we're doing the 1 month
Yeah,
thing.
you could always send them to the website too for basic information,
Sure.
If they're not sure about joining, they go to the website and look see what it's all about and whatnot. So.
Yeah, the only reason why we do the 1 month or 3 month or whatever we decide to do thing is simply because there's a whole lot of people in the group right now that have not paid
Done
their
anything.
So,
Oh,
and the group would be,
for nothing. Gotcha. Okay, that makes
yeah, so basically we're telling them, hey, you guys have 30 days to go ahead and become members, and after that time you're getting booted out of this group because this is for members only. So that's just because we opened the doors and said, hey, everybody come in. Now we have to figure out how to get those people back out.
So any new members will have to have a member number, right?
Correct.
Get in? Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And that's how it's done in the chicken groups too. You belong to the club. They have the same kind of thing in the chicken groups. So my question, Rebecca, is if they don't renew their membership after a year, say their cards decline for whatever reason, or they just don't want to, is Squarespace going to spit out a list? Hey, these are the people that didn't renew, and then we can just go in monthly to the Facebook group and kick those people out at that
I
point?
know that with my website and my subscriptions, and this will be slightly different than the subscriptions that I have currently going on my website. So hopefully it'll work the same way. But I get both a message on the website and an email sent to me saying, hey, this person canceled their subscription. And at that point, we can just simply go to the Facebook group and go, bye-bye. So, you know, I can't imagine we're going to have a whole lot. So it's not like it's going to be a hard to keep up with.
All right, well, let's do 30. I say we do 30 days from the day we open it.
Absolutely. Sounds good to me.
So what's gonna be the main hangout? Is it supposed to be Facebook or the website or?
They'll sign up with the website, so that's kind of going to be our go-to with everything. So the links for information will always be on the website. We can start to get agendas posted on the website ahead of time too, as well as like past minute meetings and the link to the YouTube, which will have all the once from now on forward, it'll have the meetings on it, like the videos to the meetings. And then that's kind of our route. So if someone wants information, they can go to the website. The Facebook group is going to be a way of discussing things that is kind of a pre-discussion for the meeting to kind of vet, this is a topic people are interested in and they want to see at the meeting. And this is a way they can have their comments seen. They can talk about different subjects and different things like that. And more of the community wise versus, yeah. Did that kind of answer it? Maybe.
Yeah, I was thinking Rebecca could possibly set up like a forum on the website, like Backyard Chickens. That forum's huge, and that'd be you could make the forum in a members only area of the website. I'm just making more work for Rebecca.
Terry, would you like to be my co-author for the website?
I got enough to deal with right now.
Well, so the website will have a members area, right?
Yep.
And the SOP is being moved to the members area, right?
I don't believe so. I believe that was going to be public and open to everyone. Was the original plan, but whether or not we want to change that is up for discussion.
You have to buy it from the APA to read it.
Talking with Martin, that's not really common from his perspective on different livestock organizations. He said, and that again, that's just Martin's opinion. So, but he said usually it's available for public. It would make sense if we eventually want to get it into a print copy to sell print copies and make that only through the APA. Or not the APA, the ACBA, but then having, especially in draft form right now, it makes sense to have it open for public and everyone, I guess.
Then what's the incentive to be a member?
Let me pull up the list.
Public.
Your directory, they'll get in the directory.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I forgot about that part.
They'll get like first dibs on merchandise.
The members area. Let me see what I have here for the list of
Voting rights whenever we put up something for a vote.
Mm-hmm. A say in how we change that standard. Can't really. I mean, for the very, very beginning, we're opening it up internationally, but even then, that's kind of more select people, not just everyone.
So I've got for the basic membership, build connections and networks with other quality breeders, access to members only articles on the website, use of ACBA logo on social media and websites, access to private ACBA Facebook group, newsletter, and be included in ACBA meetings. And then the professional membership is all of that plus getting included into the breeders directory. I do know that like when I was a member of the Moran's Club, their standard was right on their website without having to be a member.
It's the same for the Americanas, I'm pretty sure. Not all breeds do, and you have to be careful because the APA is really strict with their copyright, which is part of the reason why they can make so much money off the standard, is because they're the only ones that have a copy of it, and they crack down pretty hard on anyone replicating it. But it's definitely, like, from what it sounds like, that's not super common to not have it publicly available.
I'm okay with it either way.
Yeah, I guess, like, thinking about it, the APA I think is a little bit strict with it, because not only do you have to be a member, you have to pay to get the book on top of that, which is like $60 sometimes. Higher. They made it higher. I bought the 44th for $60.
I got the one a couple years ago, but I think this year's edition is way higher.
Yeah, I think mine was 80.
Ooh. Yeah, glad I got mine when I did. But it, like, I think that would be a little bit almost too exclusive, especially starting out, like, to not only charge for membership, but to charge for the standard. But I guess if we're charging for membership, like, that could easily cover your standard. I don't know. I'm open either way.
Include it with the membership. You don't want to scare people off, right away.
I can easily move it to the members area if we want to do that. That's fine. It can be another perk of being a member.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would be in favor of it being in the members area.
Michael, thoughts on that? You've been kind of quiet the whole time.
I think we should probably default everything to the paid members area unless there's a specific reason to put it out for everyone.
Okay. Playing devil's advocate, as Jennifer likes to do, is that going to come off as a little elitist to anyone starting off for quail or wanting to start off with show, that they can't access that?
I think we're cheap enough at $25 a year for membership that, that's just kind of my opinion.
Yeah, that makes sense.
If we were charging like $75 to $100 a year for membership, or charging separately for the SOP, I think that would be different.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. The other thing, thinking about it, someone posted in the Facebook group about family memberships. Is that something we want to consider? We've got juniors, we've got individuals. Do we want to consider a family one?
I just joined our local bee club, and it includes the entire family under one membership.
The local what?
The local bee club.
Oh, bee. Okay, I'm
Not
not
Glee.
What do you think I said, Jennifer?
Just, it's okay. I think individual/family would be sufficient myself personally. Otherwise, they're just going to share login credentials.
That's true.
But if they want, and once we start amassing points for exhibitors, if they want separate points, they will need separate memberships. We could do it that way.
I kind of feel like separate would be better for a couple of reasons. One, we're not charging a whole lot. And two, as far as keeping track of people, like who to boot out in the Facebook group if they don't re-enlist, that would be an issue too. And keeping track of, like, I know the members of my family in this household, we all have different last names. So it would be kind of hard to keep track of.
Well, just even thinking about, like, adding on like a whole family, like, what are you going to do when the kids turn 18 and they leave the house? Like, at what age do you consider them part of the family or not part of the family?
I think for record keeping reasons, as long as we keep our price low, I think it's reasonable to charge for each member of the family.
Okay.
What about a lifetime membership?
I'm kind of opposed to that just because we don't know what's,
Where it's going.
yeah.
We may crash and burn.
Lifetime membership, 6 months, you're out.
Or even like, you know, what do you charge for that? Are you planning on lifetime being 10 plus years? Are you planning on lifetime being, you know?
I don't know, I'm a lifetime member of the NRA, so
Yeah, me too.
that's until I die.
I think that would be something for once you have history, like once we have time built, because like we buy the lifetime fishing licenses for the grandkids, which are only what, $20 or $40 a year, but for a lifetime is like $1,000. So there's a huge gap there. Where would you set that price?
Yeah.
I'd be game to considering it down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely I don't think we're ready for it now. Just don't have.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Any other topics, things we want to discuss? I don't know why it hasn't kicked me off yet. We're well over 40 minutes, but it's all good. We'll keep going.
I'm good. I gotta go back to the barn.
Okay. Well, I'll adjourn the meeting then. And yeah, Jennifer, whenever you've got time to put the minutes up, and we can put them in the Facebook group and throw them in the website. And yeah, I've got to figure out how to, because I've got this recording saved, but I think it's saved in my computer. So I've got to figure out how I'm gonna send that to you to put in the group, the YouTube thing. But
Have to send it to me. Just log into YouTube with our email
okay,
and hit upload.
okay, I can
It's
do it.
really simple.
I didn't know what like the user password was, so
Oh no, it's our Google stuff.
okay, awesome.
What's the YouTube channel? I haven't seen that yet.
ACBA. I don't think there's anything there though.
Oh, okay.
I can pull it up on YouTube. We're officially on Google now. I was looking back like 2 weeks ago and I'm like, I can't find the website on Google whenever I search anything. I was like, I straight in put American Coturnix Breeders Association and it showed pips and chicks, but no, because I like mentioned it on one page, somewhere in my website. And then like it wouldn't show up. So I fiddled with a couple of the things and
I listen to so many marketing podcasts and YouTube things. So we all have to mention it on our website. The Google crawlers will see that and lend credibility to the real website. It's a whole thing that, you can listen to stuff forever with.
Yeah, we need to go in. I'll start looking at the SEOs and stuff like that as well. See if I can tweak that a little bit.
I had updated a couple of like just the page URLs and things like that. So some of that's up to date. I think most of it's not showing up on YouTube, but like we don't have videos, so that's probably the reason why. Channel. Let's see. Oh no.
Hi. Well,
Your video, Terry, popped up. No, it doesn't say it's up on as a channel yet. So I guess we just got to add some videos to it and get that started. So
In a minute, I'm going to show you. We have no subscribers, but we're there. Hold on, let me see if I can show you.
I was gonna say, what is it called? I searched American Coturnix Breeders Association, and it shows Blooming Grove Farm with 1 subscriber. And that's it.
Let me see if I can share it. I'm not the most computer literate. Manage. I don't know.
Yeah, we can definitely put it in the Facebook group, and I'm sure we'll get a couple subscribers, and I'll subscribe.
I'll try to subscribe. I don't know if I can or not. I have 17 subscribers though. Woohoo! So, all right, I'll try to send it to you.
Sounds good. And with that, I'll adjourn the meeting. So.